again, like, I consider an idol to be anything or anyone you put before God, or that you would willingly compromise on God's word for. Okay. And sometimes God has to remove these people from your life by allowing them to hurt you or betray you, because if He didn't, you would never have left. Do you know, like that? And you would have probably suffered more damage later down the line, damage you would have found a lot harder to recover from. Okay, so God's actually doing you a favor, innit? He sees the future, so He knows. Okay, then welcome back, Pel Cullen inside. And today I just want to talk about the season of isolation and its importance, particularly for men. Okay, Happy New Year, by the way, if I haven't said so already. And we're into 2024 now. Yeah, so Happy New Year. Okay, so the season of isolation is more crucial for men due to the narrative of Adam and Eve. Okay, so Adam came first in it, and he experienced a period of solitude before Eve. Women were not made to be alone. Like, they weren't created to be alone. Yeah, Eve never knew of a life without Adam. Not really, innit? So for men, this time alone is to allow us to comprehend our God-given purpose and cultivate a relationship with Yahweh. Now, I've spoken about this in greater detail in the King Development Blueprint. Okay, I'm going to speak about it in detail here in this video, but I've spoken about it in the King Development Blueprint as well. And really, your season of isolation should be for a period of 7 years. Yeah, 7 years is what I said in there. 7 year cycle theory. Okay, it's your time for you and your way. Your time to develop, understand your God-given purpose, and at least be walking in that purpose for a number of years. Okay. Anyway, in the Bible, significant assignments often follow private conversations between individuals and God. Okay. So if you think about, like, Moses at the burning bush, or Paul encountering Jesus on the Damascus road, and even Christ's 40 days in the desert before starting his ministry, they just all emphasize the value of isolation and the direct communication with God. Okay, that's the importance of it. Now, the season of isolation brings intense trials akin to Christ's temptation in the wilderness. It's a period of substantial personal growth and rigorous testing as well. Like, in a previous video, I spoke on addiction, idolatry, and detachment. Okay, so this season is for you to detach from everything you think or believe are necessary for survival, or anything or anyone that has the potential to be used against you or prevent you from carrying out your assignment. It's a boot camp. Okay, it's like the prep phase before the big mission. All right. Now, I believe that during the COVID pandemic in 2020, there was a major shift in the spiritual realm, and God was calling people out and waking them up on a mass scale. But for me, 2020 wasn't really my season of isolation. Like, my season of isolation came in 2021. Okay, although it could have been in 2020, to be honest, or even 2016. Okay, so prior to 2021, I can't remember a period of time when I've legitimately been alone. Okay, I've always had people around me. I've always had women around me. Okay, there was never a period of time where I was alone, or that God could speak to me for any significant length of time, or for me to pursue God, or to be tested for any length of time. So when 2021 arrived, that was literally the first time I've been alone for an extended period of time. Now, previously, I discussed Lewin's 3-step model of change. Yeah, unfreezing, change, and refreezing. Now, it's an uncomfortable process of dismantling old beliefs in the unfreezing stage before transitioning to change. I just came out of a relationship and my head was literally all over the place due to deception and gaslighting on a major scale. That was my unfreezing stage. I didn't know what to believe anymore. Like, I couldn't even trust myself. If you've ever been gaslit, you will know what I'm talking about. And I would never imagine that happening to me because I'm just so self-assured in it, like so confident, and I'm just stubborn. Yeah, I'm iron-willed. So at the start of 2021, I said to myself, like, I need to start seeking in it because for me, God is the source of all truth. And, as I've said, I've grown up in a Christian household in it. So God for me is the source of all truth. And this was a time I've read the most. Okay. So like I was reading practically every single day in it. I was reading every day. Yeah. And I was reading the Bible and I was reading other books as well, reading about what it means to be a genuine disciple and just trying to figure this out. And like I said in a video on transformational change, one of the benefits of isolation is that it makes the change process easier because you will be at your most vulnerable during this stage. Because just like a newborn baby or a young child, you're highly susceptible to influence. Okay. Yeah, when Christ was in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, he was at his most vulnerable. And this is when the enemy tempted him the most. Like he offered him the world if he would bow before him and, denounce God. So like, whilst you're looking for new ways of doing things, there will be people that will try to impress their way of doing things. They will try to impress their culture upon you, innit? And mold you into the person that they want you to be, in it. They'll have their own agenda, like that. So you want to limit those opportunities as much as possible. Now, it is necessary to let a few people in it, people that you trust, but they also need to be God-fearing people in it. They need to be knowledgeable of the truth. They need to know the truth in it. They need to know God as well. Do you understand? So they can, tell you what's true and what's false. Okay, and hopefully they'll always act with your best interest in mind in it and not act based off their own agenda, like that. Now, during the isolation phase, relationships may transform or they may end. Yeah, a lot of them will be potential barriers to personal growth. As I said previously, embracing the righteous path will change existing relationships, even amongst family members. Jesus said, "Do not think that I have come to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I came to set a man against his father, a daughter against her mother. A man's enemies will be the members of his household." So don't be surprised if you're now in conflict with your family members. I've even went through it, and my family members are, Christians as well. They're believers, like that. And I'm still in conflict with them just because we have different beliefs on certain topics. Yeah. So don't be afraid of it. And even if you're a Christian, like I said, it can happen even in your own family. But yeah, your season of isolation uncovers your God-given purpose. And sometimes it will extend until you thoroughly comprehend it as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Until you're ready to pass, until you've passed the boot camp or the training. Do you understand? And the duration of isolation will vary based on individual factors such as receptiveness to learning or obstinacy. And failure to grasp the intended lessons from God might prolong this period even more. Yeah, in fact, they will prolong this period even more. Like if you're not learning, you're not passing the class in it. And for me, because I had built a deep attachment and soul tie with my ex, because she was an idol in my life, it dragged on even longer. Do you understand? Again, like I consider an idol to be anything or anyone you put before God or that you would willingly compromise on God's word for. Okay. And sometimes God has to remove these people from your life by allowing them to hurt you or betray you, because if he didn't, you would never have left. Do you know, like that? And you would have probably suffered more damage later down the line, damage you would have found a lot harder to recover from. Okay, so God's actually doing you a favor, innit? He sees the future, so he knows. I'll speak about soul ties in another video and the damages that they cause in more detail. But yeah, in 2022, I said, you know what, 2021 has gone now. I can't be in the same place I was in 2021 moving into 2022. Like that. Like I need to take this serious. I believe I know what God is telling me to do and what is required of me. I just need to do it and I need to execute, like that. And there's relationships that I've lost that were important to me, very important to me, like relationships with my children, with my daughters that I've lost. Do you understand? Relationships with women that I love, yeah, or used to love or thought that I loved, that I've lost, like that. So when people come in and out of my lives now, like it doesn't really matter to me because I've lost important people. Do you understand? And it's plausible to find oneself alone even after, especially if past associations don't align with the path God is now directing you to go on, like that. And being alone is preferable to keeping bad company, yeah, because as you know, bad company corrupts good morals. But yeah, the season of isolation is when one truly hears God in it. It's not about fearing isolation, but recognizing that in this solitude, communication with God is at its purest. We have so many distractions in our daily lives on a daily basis, like we're constantly receiving messages and signals, yeah, both voluntary and involuntary as well. Like there are a lot of people who genuinely can't sit in silence for more than 30 minutes. Yeah, they can't sit in silence for more than 30 minutes. They just can't do it. Do you understand? But yes, the season of isolation is necessary and is a season that every chosen person or every believer or disciple of Jesus will go through, because it's a training ground to free you from any of the relational attachments you believe are necessary for your survival and prevent them from potentially being used by the enemy to keep you from completing your assignment or compromising on God's word. You understand? And it could be your friends, it could be your wife, and for most men, it will be their wives. It could even be your child. You understand? But that's what the season of isolation is for, and it's necessary. Pal Cullen, these are just my thoughts on the season of isolation at this present moment in time, 2024, Jan 2024. Okay. Feel free to let me know of your experience during the season of isolation and the lessons you've learned, or even if you're going through a season of isolation now, how you're finding it. Okay, because I know a lot of people are going through a season of isolation right now, yeah, or feel alone or feel isolated. Do you understand? So yeah, please let me know if there's anything that you agree with or disagree with. Then again, let me know if you found this video valuable, or if you think another person, one of your friends, will find this video valuable. Then share it with them, like that. But yeah, Pal Cullen, I hope you all have a blessed week. I will see you again next week. Okay. I will get round to doing Enemies of the Heart. It's on the list. It's next. Trust me. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. Pal Cullen. Bless.